Hello, BookTube. I thought if I needed a pick-me-up this morning, you probably did too. So I thought I'd go through the mail, as you can see in the background. I just noticed, as you can see in the background, one of my little old ladies really isn't having the cold rain. Oh. But I have a small mail shipment that I thought we'd go through just to kick off the day. Starting with this one here. Uh, uh, okay, this is a collection of stories. Last Day on Earth by Eric Puckner, uh, the author of Model Home. Um, a boy on the edge of adolescence fears his mother might be a robot. A psychotically depressed woman is entrusted with taking her niece and nephew trick-or-treating. A reluctant dad brings his baby to a debaucherous party. A teenage boy tries to prevent his mother from putting his estranged father's dogs to sleep. Okay, so he's the author of the collection Music Through the Floor and the novel Model Home. Um, his work has appeared in many literary magazines and anthologies, and his personal essays appear regularly in GQ, Medium, and elsewhere. He's a professor of writing seminars at Johns Hopkins. Okay, so Last Days on Earth, Eric Puckner. We can move on to this one here. Another novel. Spoils by Brian Van Riet. You see that with the glare? I had to put on the ceiling light. It's so dark this morning. In April 2003, American forces have taken Baghdad and are now charged with winning hearts and minds. But this vital tipping point is barely recognized for what it is in a series of miscalculations and blunders. In a dazzling and propulsive voice, Van Riet explores the lives on both sides of the battle lines. Cassandra, a 19-year-old gunner on the American Humvee, who is captured during a deadly firefight and awakens in a prison cell. Abu, a lifelong mujahideen beset by simmering crisis of conscience as he struggles against enemies from without and within. And Specialist Sleed, a tank crewman who goes along with a victimless crime, the consequences of which are more awful than he could have imagined. Okay. Brian Van Riet was born in Houston. Following the September 11th attacks, he left the University of Virginia, where he was an Eccles Scholar, and enlisted in the U.S. Army as a tank crewman. He served in Iraq under stop-loss orders, achieved the rank of sergeant, and was awarded a Bronze Star for Valor. This is his first novel. This is his first novel, coming as the last line of a bio note like that. Might as well say, this is his first novel. Go ahead, I dare you to pan it. Which is the thing that has consistently bothered me about terror war novels, especially written by veterans, and which has, in my opinion, allowed some of them to rack up critical praise that, as a work of fiction, they don't deserve. And the process might be starting already with this book. Kate Atkinson, a very talented novelist, writes, her blurb is on the front of the book. Harrowing and incredibly powerful. I read this with awe. Which only tells me that Kate Atkinson needs to read more. Doesn't tell me anything about the book. But anyway. Some of them have also been really good, so this could be one of them. We'll see. And we'll move on to this one. This is nice and big. Oh, good. Oh, excellent. This is the printed copy of... oh, wow. This is the printed copy of Stephen Sears' Lincoln's Lieutenants. And one thing I'm noticing as I flip through it is that it's lavishly illustrated. That's great. Lots and lots of black and white illustrations. Fantastic. Okay. Great. This is a great big thing. Comes out in April. I'm sure it's not the last time you'll be hearing about it from me. And then the last thing for now is this thing. It feels like it's two books. Let's see what we have here. Oh, oh, good. This is W.E.B. Griffin. talk about veterans fiction. This is W.E.B. Griffin. Uh, okay, I emailed the publicist about this. This is about a book that comes out before the end of the year. The book is Curtain of Death. This one here, which is it's the third in the Clandestine Operations series by W.E.B. Griffin and William Butterworth, who is another one of the examples of what we were talking about a little while ago about ongoing series and author imprimaturs that are carried forward by other people. There's never going to be a time when a Webb Griffin book doesn't have his name, big as life, right across the top there, even though the main bulk of the writing chores have now devolved to someone else. And when, God forbid, may the day be long distant, Webb Griffin shuffles off this model coil, this series will still continue, and it won't be that William Butterworth's name will suddenly go up to the big type. It will stay like this, just as it has with Robert Parker and with Robert Ludlum and with a bunch of other people, Tom Clancy, and it's creating a kind of literature that hasn't really existed before, and it's really interesting to me. If I were the kind of high-profile artsy-fartsy writer who can place pieces in the New Republic or the Atlantic or Harper's, I would come up with a piece pitch for torch-passing fiction like this and try and analyze what it means. But I'm not. I'll bloviate about it somewhere, I'm sure. But when I got this book, a friend of mine actually got a copy of this and said, look, I know this isn't your kind of thing at all, but this book is really good. It's just a shot of adrenaline. Why don't you give it a try? And when I realized that it was the third in the series, I emailed the publicist to ask if they had the other two. And they had the next to last one, the second in the series, Top Secret. I would never in a million years name a spy espionage thriller Top Secret. Why? There aren't any other titles in the world? Again, I say to those of you in the publishing industry who may be watching, my services for coming up with good titles for your books, any kind of book at any time, are free, and they're yours for the asking. The one thing that the publicist and I figured out is that the first book in the series, which is called The Assassination Option, they don't appear to have a hardcover of it in the warehouse or whatever. So now we're talking about an e-copy, although it occurred to me just the other day that I could just go into a bookstore. It's going to be an $8 paperback. I could just go to a bookstore and buy it. So I might do that. But anyway, that's great. Fantastic. So what we have here is two military spy espionage type novels, a collection of stories, a terror war novel, that filled Kate Atkinson with awe, and a big, fat history of the Army of the Potomac during the American Civil War. So that's not bad for a start for a miserable, rainy day. So I'll see you soon, BookTube. Thank you.